talking about the magical thinking that's going on cable news and particularly corporate media, telling us that, hold on, no, we could just have this march to war and we can blow up this nuclear site and everything's going to be hunky-dory. It's going to go great, by the way. We'll be greeted as liberators once we get some boots on the ground. And you've heard Lindsey Graham and James Lankford and Tom Tillis are out there calling for regime change. They said they want to go further. But then they're also telling us that America needs to get involved when I was told America didn't need to get involved last week. We take care of this on our own. So when it comes down to it, Tony, look, you served, you've been there. Does it make sense for this rush to war right now with the high pressure sales tactics and the upselling of regime change to President Trump without any national debate whatsoever, or even any general understanding of the facts on the ground before we rush into one of these things?
No, the optimism and magical thinking of the neocons, and that's both left and right, I mean, they're in both parties, is insane. Remember, going back to the Civil War, the Battle of Manassas, everything will be done by next month. Next thing you know, 1861 turns into 1864. Same with World War I. World War II was the only war I know of where everything was compact. We actually knew what we were doing. We set up a number of objectives and got it done. Every other war has been protracted and without a clear end in sight. Korea is still going on to this day. We have the demilitarized zone and armistice. Vietnam went on forever. Afghanistan went on forever. Jack, we heard the same thing in 2003 regarding Saddam Hussein. We'll be welcomed with liberators. We will be, women and children will be throwing flowers at our feet. How long? We're still not resolved with that. So anytime I hear optimism for those who have never served, and I'm sorry, Lindsey Graham is not really served. He was a JAG, a lawyer in uniform. I don't think his service is worth the paper it is regarding his being an Air Force guy. I think anytime you put politicians in charge of strategic thinking, you get a completely inappropriate and unrealistic perspective on what could become if we use military force.
Well, and Tony, these people, they never even heard about order of battle. They don't even know what a basic order of battle analysis is. And so when I'm sitting there saying order of battle or asking basic questions about what this fight's going to look like, people are saying, "Oh, why are you talking about that episode before?" Because that's how you have the fight. Okay, what kind of interceptor missiles do you have? How many interceptor missiles do you have? By the way, we've got a box up lower corner. President Trump about to leave from the White House, about to depart, and now, of course, even the media is starting to admit. They say, "Wait a minute, Israel doesn't have infinite missiles." Oh, wait, and America doesn't have infinite missiles as well. President Trump now is departing. We can see him. Boarding Air Force One right there on screen. So look, Tony, President Trump, he's got a lot on his shoulders right now, and he's got big shoulders, and he can handle it. And I think that these are some of the conversations and questions that he's asking himself.
We need to let him do his job. I see people who you and I know and admire saying, "Oh my God, he's broken his promise." He's not broken his promise yet. He's doing his job. We have yet to use military force against Iran. People may be uncomfortable with how close we are to using it, which I am too. But Jack, I'll end by saying we need to have leaders who always begin with the end in mind. What are you trying to achieve? And do we have the adequate resources and political will to do it? Because too often we get into the middle of things, Afghanistan, Iraq, with no clear understanding of what we're trying to achieve. We throw people in there. They give up blood and treasure in their lives for purposes that are completely obtuse and unclear. So if we do this, we have to have the debate, like you mentioned, and an understanding that we're going to lose men and women in combat, but we have to have an appropriate and effective and achievable end goal that's worth sacrificing for. I think President Trump understands.
Well, I think we understand that as well. That when it comes to these issues, the issues of war and peace, the understanding, and of course, nobody wants a nuclear war. No one. No. Absolutely not. No. And so the goal here, of course, has always been how to best secure the American people.